ladies. My name is Roger Webb, and I go to school at the University of Houston. This is my invention, which, if any of y'all have ever had to rake leaves, you know how much blood, sweat, and tears go into it. So if you look at it, this is going to be something that, on a gravel lot, what I need it for and why I invented it, you more or less bulldoze or push the leaves together to where you don't have to worry about as much time and effort going into getting the leaves together. You know, the bottom layer, you're going to skim over the top of it, but whenever you look at it, you can rake the rest of that together, but this does most of the work for you, pushing versus pulling. And it's a product of my imagination, personally. Let's just say that I'm very, very lazy, so I would rather not work hard if I don't have to, but smarter, not harder. Thus, this is why I'm here talking to y'all today.
So who's your target market?
The target market is such a niche market because, you know, like I said, for what I need, it's on a gravel lot, so it's not grass. You won't have to worry about it getting hung up as far as the hard edge on the bottom. But if you don't have grass, or if you have concrete or something that you won't need to get a lot of things out of the way, you can get this and take it and more or less cut down the time it takes to get everything done.
So how many have you sold so far?
I have not sold any. This is actually 100% recycled material. The hinges right here, whenever I had a hide-a-bed sofa that we were getting rid of, I salvaged the hinges, and through raking leaves last fall, I just wanted to put something to the physical product, so that way the next time around I wouldn't have to worry about putting it together at that point.
Right.
So
very innovative.
Well, like I said, I'm just lazy by nature, so I think it through. But
not too lazy. Put that together.
Well, that's just thinking outside of the box, right? So.
How much did you charge for it?
Because it is 100% recycled, I have no idea how much it would cost to put it to production. Obviously, you can't beat the cost that what I got it for. Get it. Plastics, the different kinds of hinges, you can cut down on weight. This is probably about 15 pounds right here just because of the wood that I used to build it. But, like I said, I'm a broke college student over at U of H, and I have to use what I have at my disposal.
How are you going to go about marketing it to college students? Because I see that you have Go Foods on it.
Well, Goku's, you have to know where you came from. Any premise of networking, you could understand that as long as you represent where you're from, it doesn't matter where it is because everybody has a past.
Right.
But students are not who I'm catering it to, but mainly, say, the older demographics that would have houses that need to do that, which in turn might have college students using it. But for the clientele I would cater to are the people that have homes.
So are you going to personalize it to how that person wants it, or are they all going to have Go Cougs? Because not everyone's going to be a Cougar fan.
You're absolutely right, but being able to cater to different demographics is just like a ball cap. Same kind of everything, just different stitching. This edge right here is actually just because it was a scrap piece of wood and that edge was already cut off. So that's what I went with, kind of old school, you know, chip off the whole block or whatever. But, you know, you can cater it to anybody that you would like just because it is something that once you build it for the individual, it's almost like a class rate. It's theirs for life.
So where do you plan on operating and like putting everything together, or having a home base?
I haven't thought that far ahead, to
Where
be
have you
honest.
been doing this right now?
In my backyard.
Okay.
So the extended introduction. If I could pick anywhere in the world, I would honestly say Thailand.
Thailand.
Is there a big market for gravel pickup?
In Thailand?
Not at all, but it's actually to bulldoze leaves, not to pick up gravel. That would be awesome.
No, I thought it went over gravel.
Well, it's on gravel.
Oh, okay.
But like I was telling y'all earlier, though, it's all up to the individual if you can use it. You know, I'm not sure how big the niche market is, but it's definitely a niche. But if you build a niche, you can make money.
So it's a specialty item?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so would you want it in big chain stores or like little private, online?
How would you start selling it, since obviously you haven't sold any yet?
Yeah. What's like? Where would you like to? You have all these ideas. Where do you want to?
The easiest way to the product sold would be to market it online. So if you look at the distribution channels like for the ShamWow or Slap Chop or any of those, since it is such a niche market, I could buy infomercial space on those things that when people are surfing, oh, that's a new item, never seen that before.
Right.
So marketability, it is there. I just haven't gotten that far because I'm trying to graduate this May.
How much money are you asking for?
Sweat equity, I would say maybe $15. And as long as I can get better prices for bulk, products as far as the plastics to actually make it better and lighter, because this wouldn't necessarily cater to a lady like yourselves, just because it is a little bit heavier. But for the compactability of it, you have this that can come over, and whenever you pick it up, how I need it, I can have 2 bolts on the wall that I actually have a slot right here for, to where whenever I'm done with it, I hang it on the wall, it's out of the way, out of line, out of sight.
So how much does it cost you to make that?
Well, I told y'all it was 100% recycled, so
Right.
it didn't cost me anything.
But you only want $15. What do you want to do with $15?
Make people's lives easier.
Don't you need more?
Are we all monetarily driven? Better materials to build it, lighter, better, more efficient, and once you get that efficiency going, you can start to add volume and bulk sales. So I'm not sure exactly where I would invest the money just yet. Once I have the money, I can tell you I will invest it very, very intelligently.
That's pretty brave of you to not know where you want us to, what you want us to invest, but you're not sure what you want to do with the money. So,
Right.
Sometimes the boldest moves in life pay off the best when you take the risk.
Especially when it's not.
yeah.
Well, go big or go home, lady. That's all I know, and that's how I live my life.
We all took chances, and it got us somewhere. So,
$15?
Yeah, really?
What do I get, a 50%
Because I
share?
mean, if you think about it, the time, obviously it didn't cost you a lot to make it, but then the time.
So you're talking like $15
actually
one of those, or should we just go with that?
Well, because
yeah, I'm gonna say I know.
You too. I know.
Dunzo, just like that. Well, the thing about where I would be going with it is it fills my needs. It won't fill everybody's needs because, like I
Right.
told y'all, it's such a niche market.
Right.
But for marketability, if there is a will, there is a way. So it's no harm, no foul. But ladies, thank you very, very much for y'all's time, and y'all have a great day.
We wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Libiamo negli lieti calici che la bellezza infiora e là fuggevol ora s'inebria voluta. Libiam nei dolci fremiti che suscita l'amore, poiché quell'occhio anacore ogni potente va. Libiamo, amore fra i calici più caldi baci avrà.